So, little secret, this is like my fourth time trying to do the voiceover because I keep getting interrupted. So, here it is, squat day, me and Hunter, and this is, second to last week that we can really go heavy. So, we didn't want to be super fatigued from these squats. So, we had a different strategy. Hunter's strategy was, I'm just not going to go that heavy. I didn't trust myself, so I decided I'm going to set a world record in back extensions first so that I'm so exhausted I can't go heavy, which kind of worked. And as I was warming up for these 45-degree back extensions, which, by the way, are like a pinnacle exercise for me, and I use them with all my athletes. It's an awesome exercise because you can go super heavy. You really can't hurt yourself. I'm sure you could, but I never really get to that point. I feel like you just yank on the bar. If it can't come up, it doesn't come up. I've seen lots of people try, and you can kind of take it to a high RPE without a ton of fatigue. So, I told them too when I was doing these in the warm-ups, I was like, it feels super heavy. I don't feel super fresh, so we'll see. I've done 501 pounds before, so I knew after this 485 we would kind of talk about it, and we decided that, 512 probably made the most sense. And, I think it's a good rep, but I always wish I had like 2 more inches of extension on those. Hunter just wasn't having it. He apparently doesn't care about world records, or especially my world records, I guess. No, I'm just kidding. He went right into his squats. 300, I think that's 340 pounds plus about 100 pounds of band or so. Maybe a little bit less than that, but yeah, significantly heavy squat for him on an SSB. Good speed reps. For me, it's 130 kgs plus the bands. Hunter said they're about 100 pounds, I believe that. And I just did set of 10 and then a set of 11, which is because yesterday when Trinity did 2 sets of 10, she on the second set, she got to set, it was probably rep 8. And she goes, what rep I'm on? And coaches, you tell me if you're the same way. I'm not fucking counting. But she needed to hear something, so I was like, rep 7. Which, good leadership, bad counting, because it was really rep 8, so she ended up doing 11. So I honored her and also did 11 on my second set. But yeah, although these were light, it was it's good work capacity training. It wasn't super fatiguing. I wasn't terribly out of breath, but I definitely had to sit and catch my breath afterwards, which I think is important because I think I'm plenty strong right now. Definitely, I'm the strongest I've ever been. And I think a lot of what this strongman contest is going to come down to is stamina, endurance, and just how recovered I am. Because the truth is, when I did a lot of heavy deadlifts in a row, I think I had 3 weeks where I was over 700 pounds on deadlift, and more than that in general. My hips really started to hurt, and it made it hard to move on farmer's carries and running with the sandbag and Zercher yoke. So part of what I want to do is keep the strength peaked. I want to have a good peak week next week, probably take some of the contest weights for AMRAPs, but I need my hips to feel good so I can really move with the weights. And then the last week will be just, light as can be, just totally getting that recovery in. So that's what we did. We did the back extension, squats. Hunter did farmer's carries, which I thought I cut into these videos, but since this is my 4th time through recording, I think somehow those videos got cut out. So sorry, Hunter. He did work up to contest weight with the farmer's carries because he had more time because I had done the back extensions and then the squats. And he said it felt heavy. We're fatigued. It's been a long training cycle of going super heavy. So followed it up with the leg accessories. This is one of my favorite machines at the gym. It's a single leg standing hamstring curl. I will say I can max out the machine, but that's because I have ridiculous hamstring strength. I've always explained my squat is all hips and hamstrings. So we did a couple more accessories, and then we got into ab wheel, which is something I like to do a lot. I give it to my clients, and oftentimes I will, if they're doing it, I'll literally put in their program, hey, come find me when you're doing these, and I'll do them with you, which I think is important as a coach. It's kind of a military mentality. There's a big law in the military of you don't ask your soldiers to do something you wouldn't do. So try to apply that same thing to coaching and show them that even though I'm 344 pounds and just probably bigger than I should be, I can still do good ab wheels. Now, I thought because Hunter is Hunter that he was just going to bust out some ab wheel from standing. He's never done them before, apparently. I had to show him how. So here's his attempt at a standing. It wasn't happening. Turns out he's actually not that good at these, which was really funny to me. And then apparently at 22 years old, he's an old man. So he was telling me about he's got chips in his knees or something. I think he was making shit up because he's not good at them. So he put his knees on the crash pad, which at first I was like, you know what, maybe that's harder. So, he did his sets. They look good. He's getting down low. was like, oh, let me try that. But I was like, dude, this is way easier. So I took my knees off, did more reps. Immediately Hunter starts harassing me. I'm not going down low enough, blah, 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 which, yeah, I guess probably I wasn't. But the problem is eventually my belly's going to hit the ground. So I should probably cut down after this strongman meet, get back down to like 320 or so. I'll probably be a better weight, look better and everything. But yeah, regardless, this is rep, like 102. Hunter only did like 3. So, we gave each other a lot of shit, but I was definitely better at him than these. And, I was telling him too, like, in all honesty, all jokes aside, like, he probably does need to get his core strength up to get his squat up. Squat's something that he needs to work on. I still think he hasn't squatted 500 pounds, which is wild. All intents and purposes, he should be able to do that. So maybe I can harass him into doing a lot more abs in the future. We'll see. But he knocked out some good reps for a guy with chips in his knees at 22 years old. And, I think he'll be feeling these though. If you've never done ab wheel before, that's an exercise where you might wake up the next day and just feel completely smoked.